This is his story, and I have a problem with him because his story is a channel that has been taking over YouTube recently, gaining millions of subscribers a month. But the issue is they're taking my job. They do storytelling content, I do storytelling content, and everyone thinks their videos are better than mine. So I'm gonna watch their best content to see if it's as good as everyone is saying. But here's the twist. If I laugh or even just smile at 5 or more of their videos, I will personally call the creator of the His Story channel and apologize for ever trash talking on him. And by the way, I personally reached out to His Story to ask what videos of his I should react to. And he gave me a list of his best ones. So if they're not good, it's not my fault. Let's get into it. So this is the list he sent me, and he said the first video is animated really well and it's just overall a banger. I'll be the judge of that. It's called I Labeled It Fish. Here we go.
My teacher looked at my drawing, covered her mouth, and ran out of the room screaming. Our assignment was to draw something that makes us happy, so I drew...
I already know this kid with the orange hair. I already know him. That's the dude in the profile picture of the channel, bruh. This is the man I have beef with. But let's see what he does.
Me and my dad fishing at the lake, something we do every Saturday. I picked up my paper to see what she saw. 2 stick figures, a fishing rod, a lake, a building that said Larry's Bait and Tackle, and a fish that I even labeled fish in case there was any confusion.
We know it's a fish. Come on, guys. You really think this is better than mine? Come on.
I had no idea what I did wrong. She came back with 2 security guards, still screaming, grabbed my drawing off my desk, and pointed at me like I was dangerous. They walked me out without saying a...
I did not realize this dude was like 3 feet tall. Wait, that changes everything. Because we all know I'm 6'5", and he's like 3'4", so... Come on, who's better? Who's better?
They walked me out without saying a word and sat me down in Principal Carter's office. He had my drawing...
Get him, Principal Carter! ...
under a desk lamp like he was examining a ransom note. He looked up. Explain this. I told him it's me and my dad fishing at the lake. He pointed at my stick figure's hand. You're telling me this is a fishing rod when I'm looking at a...
I'm on Principal Carter's side, okay? Whoever this man is, hey, if he's got beef with His Story, I'm on his team.
Weapon. I told him there's a line coming off it with a fish on the end, and I literally wrote the word fish next to it. Mrs. Keller leaned in. It looks like he's aiming at...
Yo, why is Mrs. Keller kind of bad? My bad. Anyways, let's just keep playing the video.
The building. I told her it's Larry's Bait and Tackle where we buy worms, and he's facing the water because that's where fish live and that's how fishing works. I didn't understand how every adult in the room was looking at a fish and seeing a threat. Principal Carter picked up his phone and called my dad.
Yeah. Get him, Principal.
Mr. Davis, your son drew an image that appears to depict a school shooting. We need you here immediately.
Hey, did y'all hear that? There's something wrong with this dude, I'm telling you.
I sat there staring at my drawing, wondering how I ended up here. My dad showed up still in his work shirt with dirt on his hands.
His dad kind of has aura. I can't even lie, bro. I can't even lie. But I haven't smiled yet, so we're good.
And stopped in the doorway. Where is he? What did he draw? Principal Carter slid the drawing across the desk, and my dad picked it up, stared at it, and laughed. Not a chuckle, a full laugh. This is from last Saturday. He pulled out his phone, turned it around, and the photo was right there. Me standing in front of Larry's Bait and Tackle holding my fishing rod. Same building, same rod, same everything. He looked at the principal. Is everyone in this room slow? My son drew a fish, labeled it fish, drew a fishing rod, drew a bait shop, and you looked at that and saw a school shooting. Nobody said anything.
Bro, his dad has so much aura. His dad has so much aura. I don't even think they're related, to be honest, by how they're acting.
Pulled my son out of class and called me at work because not one adult in this building stopped and said, hey, maybe that's a fishing rod. Mrs. Keller stared at the floor, and Principal Carter had nothing. My dad put the drawing in his pocket. We're done here. Let's go. Next art class,
No, expel him still. Expel him.
Drew Mrs. Keller and labeled it donkey in case there was any confusion.
So at the end, he calls his teacher a donkey? I still feel like he should get expelled for that. No, I can't lie. That was a pretty good story, but I didn't smile, so no points to his story yet. Next video, the Hellcat.
I was stopped at a red light when headlights flashed across my mirror and everything went sideways. The airbag slammed my head back and guacamole from my DoorDash order flew everywhere.
Wait, that wasn't a smile. That wasn't a smile. Oh, it was a smile, wasn't it? Okay, that's 1 point to him. That's 1 point to his story. I wasn't even smiling because it was funny, though. I was smiling because, low-key, that's something I would do. Like, imagine getting in a car crash and your first worry is your DoorDash order. He's low-key just like me.
I couldn't hear anything except ringing. I crawled out through the passenger side, tried to stand, and my legs gave out. I'm on my hands and knees on the pavement when I hear, bro, what the hell? My brand new car.
What a fire outfit.
Just got it yesterday. An orange Hellcat was sitting sideways in the intersection with smoke coming off the tires. Some kid was standing over me screaming, "Why'd you reverse into me?" I looked up at him from the ground.
How is he even tall enough to drive? He's like 4'3".
I can't feel my legs. I don't care about your legs. Look what you did to my car. He pulled out his phone and started filming.
that count as 2 laughs because I just laughed? Or does it not because this is the same video? I'm not gonna cheat, whatever. That counts as 2, fine. It doesn't even matter because I'm not gonna laugh or smile 3 more times in the video.
His Hellcat without even glancing at me or my flipped car. My dad's a lawyer, so you're either gonna pay for my car or we're gonna bury you. I couldn't even stand up, and this kid was threatening to sue me. Cops showed up 10 minutes.
Where did the cops come from? Look at that road. Are y'all seeing that road? Whatever town this is almost as weird as Bakersfield.
Minutes later, and the kid completely transformed, limping and holding his neck. He told the officer I reversed into his
Is the officer the kid's dad from the last video?
Hellcat for no reason. The cop took one look at my Corolla on its side next to the brand new Hellcat and didn't even ask for my side. He gave me the ticket and left. I'm sitting on the curb holding my legs when a second cruiser pulled up. The kid saw it and started limping again. The door opened and I heard, "Oh hell no." It was my dad's buddy from the neighborhood. He'd been on patrol and heard the call. He crouched down next to me. "Tell me everything."
Get him,
I told
officer.
him what happened. He looked at both cars.
Is that officer wearing shoulder pads? Or is that just me? He might just be jacked. Who knows?
And shook his head. "I believe you, but without proof, there's nothing I can do. Is there anything, any witness, any camera?
Lock him up. Put him in jail.
Anything?" I almost said no. Then I looked at my Corolla and saw it through the cracked windshield. The dash cam I installed 6 months ago to catch DoorDash scammers. Still mounted to the dash, right where I left it. Actually, yeah, I do. He
car's
watched
gonna
me
blow up.
crawl over
The
to
car's
my
gonna blow
car, reach through the broken window, and pull out the SD card. He plugged it into his laptop in the cruiser. 30 seconds of footage. My car sitting still at a red light. The Hellcat spinning out of a dealership. The kid laughing right before he slammed into me. Everything the kid told the first cop was a lie, and now we both knew it. He stepped out of the cruiser, walked straight to the kid, and got in his face. "You want to tell me what really happened?" The kid backed up a full step. His fake limp was gone. He looked over at me, then
Why did he have to have the camera in his car?
back at the cop standing 6 inches from his nose. "You filed a false report, and that limp you walked in with healed up real quick." The kid started stammering. "My dad's a lawyer. You can't just call him.
Yeah.
You're gonna need one." He was right.
Oh,
I ended up
that was low-key a bar. I can't even lie.
settling for enough money to buy 5 Hellcats thanks to a $30 dash cam.
Okay, so we got 2 laughs from that video. That's all you're gonna get though, okay? You're not getting any more laughs. I will say, it was kind of an interesting story. But let's move on. Next one, she broke my project.
A girl named Madison bumped into me in the hallway, and my science project I was carrying dropped and cracked
Can anyone get me Madison's at? I'm sorry.
on the floor. I'd spent 4 weeks making my own organic stain remover spray, and now the liquid was all over the floor. I quickly grabbed the bottle to save what was left, and Madison looked down at me and laughed. "Guess your stupid project is ruined. Mine's way
That's right, Madison, you get him. Keep trash talking to Madison, I love it.
better anyway. See you in the gym." She laughed and walked off. I carried my project to the gym and started supergluing the bottle of my spray together. But Madison sat at the table next to me and laughed at me trying to repair my project. She announced, "This was so easy if you're actually smart. I barely spent 20 minutes and mine's..."
Okay, Madison's my new favorite character. She's the GOAT. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Also, look at the pose she's doing. That looks like Marcus Rashford celebration. I don't even know if half of you guys will understand what that meant, but let's just carry on.
"Still better," she pointed at my project. I finished my repair just as the judges started walking around, but I barely had enough spray left to demonstrate anything. The judges reached Madison, and she proudly showed off.
Hold up.
I barely had enough spray
up.
left to demonstrate anything. The judges reached Madison.
Is that not the kid's dad from the first video again? Am I seeing things? His dad's playing a new character every time. Am I seeing things wrong?
And she proudly showed off her volcano made of red paper mache. She told them the inside of the volcano was filled with red ink. Then she held up a button and said, "If I press this, the ink will flow out of it like lava. Would you like to see?"
This video is so unrealistic, guys. If this was real school, obviously Madison would be getting dress coded. Look at what she's wearing. So I think we have to take a point off for unrealisticness. Just saying.
He held up a button and said, "If I press this, the ink will flow out of it like lava. Would you like to see?" The judges were impressed and nodded, but when she pressed the button, nothing happened. Her smile dropped, and she slammed the button repeatedly, but again, nothing. The judges leaned in and wrote something on their clipboards, but suddenly, the ink exploded. It went all over the judges' white shirts and ruined their
Madison.
clothes. Madison went pale and grabbed tissues to try clean it, but when she wiped their shirts, she smeared the ink around and only made it worse.
Madison,
The judges
just give
backed
up.
away and told her to stop. She kept apologizing, but they just moved to my project next, still in their
All
destroyed
right, it's time to cook them, judges. Come on, cook them.
shirts. They asked me, what is your project? And I
Why is that judge kind of mogging, bro?
replied, let me show you. I took out my stain remover spray, sprayed it on their shirts, and
Oh,
wiped
you
it
gotta
with
be
my
kidding.
own brush I'd also made. Immediately,
gotta-
the ink stains disappeared. The judge's face dropped as he yelled, my shirt is clean again. One by one, I cleaned every judge's shirt, using up every last drop of my spray. They gave me the
That's not a real thing. That spray does not exist.
gold ribbon, and when I looked over, Madison threw her arms in the air in anger and knocked her volcano over. The rest of the red ink spilled onto her clothes, and I just held up my empty bottle of stain remover. Too bad, I'm all out. Bet you wish you had my stupid project now.
Does this kid just have the best luck in the world? No matter what happens, he always ends up on top. When are we gonna see him lose in one of these videos? Let's hope he loses in this one called Guess Who's Dating My Sister? It's me.
I walked into my kitchen and saw the kid who used
I just realized he has two different colored eyes. He's like, what do they call that? What do they call that when you have two different colored eyes? Heteromochia. He has heteromochia.
I walked into my kitchen and saw the kid who used to shove me into lockers, sitting at our dinner table with his arm around my twin sister, Christy.
That's right. Raise up his sister, bro.
Hey, Christy said, jumping up and grabbing my elbow before I could turn around. She pulled me into the
No DNA test needed there.
hallway and lowered her voice. I know what you're thinking. He's different now. Please, just give him a chance tonight. For me, this was Brett, the kid who chipped my front tooth against a water fountain in
Brett!
10th grade. So I sat down across from them to find out if he'd really changed, or if my sister was about to get hurt by the same guy who hurt me. Mom kept an eye on us from the stove while Christy carried the conversation. Tell him about your summer job, babe. Brett talked about painting houses for his uncle. Said the heat was brutal, but the money was good. The kind of small talk that almost made me forget who he was. He set down his fork
What are they eating? Are they just eating? Is that dog poop?
and met my eyes. I know this is weird, man. I'm not the same kid I used to be. I
Lil bro, you are not a kid at all right? You are at least 35.
still think about that day at the water fountain, and I'm sorry. It sounded real, and he didn't flinch when he said it. Mom was smiling at him like he was already family. Christy squeezed my hand under the table, and I felt myself starting to believe him. I almost told him it was okay, but Mom's voice cut in from the dining room. Christy, come grab the plates. The second my sister stepped out of the kitchen, his smile changed. Christy showed me your old yearbook photos, he said, leaning back in his chair. The ones from before I cracked your tooth. That same smile crept across his face. The one from the locker hallway. She actually thinks I changed. You both did. That's the best part. My tongue went to the chip in my tooth before I could stop it.
This guy has the smallest tongue ever.
You're not gonna say anything. You never do. For 10 years, he was right. But Christy was standing in the doorway with a stack of plates, and she'd heard every word. The plates shattered on the floor. Brett spun around in his chair and started to say her name. I was on my feet and swinging
Did this man just throw a table?
floor. Brett spun around in his chair and started to say her name. I was on my feet and
Okay, maybe I should not be trash talking this dude. He just threw a table. He went from being 3'4" in the first video to now being able to throw tables. I respect it. Puberty can do some crazy things.
swinging before he got it out. Punch. My fist caught his mouth and I felt something crack. He went over backward off his chair, and when he pulled his hand away, his front tooth was chipped. I stood over him and laughed in his face. Now we're even. He scrambled up and ran out the front door with his hand clamped over his mouth.
Once again, this guy never loses. Next video is just called Why. What does that mean?
I need you to pee on me. Now! An old man begged
No,
me.
I laugh. Why would you start the video with that, bro? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? He just asked to get peed on in the first second of the video. Okay, that's 3 out of 5 laughs. But I'm not laughing anymore. I'm not. Now let's find out why this dude wanted to get peed on.
I need you to pee on me. Now! An old man begged me at the beach. I took a step back as he started loosening the string on his swimming trunks. Bro, what? Get away from me! But he took a step closer. Please, there's no time. I need it. He clutched his thigh, eyes wide with
I can't even lie. This happened to me like 2 weeks ago at the beach. An old man came up to me and he was like, bro, just pee on me. But every time I asked why, he would just start giggling. So I wonder if the same thing happened right here.
panic. My eyes darted around the beach for help, and that's when a lifeguard sprinted over. I breathed a sigh of relief, thinking he would tell the creep to back off, but instead he put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Son, I saw everything that..."
Son? That's his dad now? His dad's a shapeshifter, bro. His dad is a skinwalker.
Happened. You need to pee on this man right now, quickly. I can't do it because I just went to the bathroom. I genuinely didn't even know what to say. Absolutely not. Y'all are crazy. The lifeguard was angry. Fine, then we have to call for backup instead. I had no idea what he was talking about. And that's when 2 paramedics sprinted towards us.
Are we sure these are paramedics? Hold on.
They ran.
I'm pretty sure these dudes just got out of prison. That is not a paramedic outfit. I don't know what country this is in, but that ain't a paramedic outfit in America. I'll tell you that.
And to the old man with thick gloves and a medical kit. The older one looked at him. Did you ask anyone to pee on it? He sighed like he was sad. Yeah, this boy over here refused. They shook their heads in disgust. Kids these days have no respect for the elderly. What is going on? I screamed. The paramedic
I'm not smiling. I'm not smiling.
looked at me. This man was stung by a jellyfish. Urine helps cancel it out.
Okay, so that's not what happened to me at the beach. Because the dude who asked me to pee on him definitely did not get stung by no jellyfish. But I'm not gonna lie, okay? The stories are kind of entertaining. They're a little bit better than I thought. Still not gonna get 5 laughs out of me though. Especially in this next video that's called Get Him? What does that even mean?
It was my first day as a delivery driver when I pulled up
DoorDash. This was his first day of DoorDash delivery driving. See? I already know the storyline.
to a house with 3 German shepherds loose on the front lawn. I triple-checked if it was the right house because I knew this wasn't going to be good, but it was the right house. I stepped out of the car, walked onto the lawn, and
bite him!
Immediately one of them charged at me and bit down on my arm. I screamed in pain, but I've been a K9 police officer for 8 years, so I grabbed the pressure point behind its jaw and it released immediately. Then the front door swung open. The house owner screamed, "What the hell are you doing to my dog?" I was confused because his dog was the one that attacked me and I was just trying to do my job. But before I could say anything, he stormed off the porch and pushed my chest. "Don't you ever put your hands on my dogs." I showed him the
You tell him, come on. This is gonna be the first video he finally loses it. I promise.
bite mark. "Your dog bit me. I was just delivering a package. You know, doing my job." He scoffed. "If you were..."
Okay, listen, his story, we have to make one thing straight, buddy. If you want to start telling stories on YouTube, you do not say the J word. I don't know who you think you are, bro, but we do not say the J word around here, okay? It's a very bad word.
Doing your job correctly, they wouldn't have bit you.
Again? You said it again? Sorry, let's keep going.
You know, doing my job. He scoffed. "If you were doing your job correctly, they wouldn't have bit you." He got closer to my face. "These are purebred German shepherds. They could kill you if I told them to."
Yep.
I almost laughed because I train dogs that actually do that for a living. His dogs weren't trained. They were just out of control. He pointed in my face. "You're nothing more than a delivery driver. You're useless. Now get off my property before I let my dogs kill you." That's when I tapped my Apple Watch and sent my location to my unit. I didn't say a word. I picked up the package and turned to leave. Then he commanded his dogs, "Get him." I heard all 3 dogs running toward me. One bit my leg, another went for my arm again. I got them off, but now I was bleeding in
Yo, I need some dogs like this.
3 spots. He just stood there smiling. "That's what happens when you mess with me. I'm calling the cops on you." I stayed quiet. Then I heard sirens. The customer smiled. "Good. The cops are here. You're finished." 3 K9 units pulled up to his house. Officers stepped out with trained German shepherds on leashes. The customer's dogs tucked their tails and ran behind him, whimpering in fear. The smile left his face because he realized the cops were here for him. My sergeant walked up to me. "We got your location. What happened?" I pointed at the guy. "He commanded his dogs to attack me." My sergeant looked at the customer. "That's assault with a deadly weapon. That's jail time." He put the customer in handcuffs, but he tried resisting. "What are you doing?"
He's always getting away with it. The orange-haired dude is always getting away with it.
A delivery driver." I whistled, and the K9 German shepherds lined up in front of me, growling at the man. "That's my side hustle, but these are my co-workers."
The worst part is, this man never even got to eat his food. Do you know how sad that is? I will not lie. When I watch these videos, I do get a little bit interested, you know? I'm not saying they're amazing or anything, but like, they're all right so far. Now we gotta watch Grandma went viral by accident. What did Granny do this time?
My grandma called me at 6 in the morning to tell me she'd broken TikTok. She'd had the app for a week, only to watch my videos and tap the little heart, and she didn't even know how to post. So when she said her video had 300,000 views, I told her she was reading it wrong. She wasn't. She'd leaned her phone against a bowl on the counter, hit record by accident, and filmed 40 seconds of herself fighting a batch of pierogi dough. "Stick to the counter one more time and I'll throw you in the damn trash," she told it. The comments lost their minds.
A grandma who cusses at her food is the content I needed. Fighting with dough. Thank you so much. Do try. Dang, her grandma got 1.2 million likes on a video? She got more motion than me.
"A grandma who cusses at her food is the content I needed," one wrote. And by that afternoon, the video had 1 million views. I had no idea she was just getting warmed up. The next morning, a box from a knife company nobody ordered showed up on her porch, and her phone buzzed across the counter until she flipped it face down. She slid it over.
Grandma, Grandma, why do you have your phone in all the dough? It's giving me the ick.
To me. You do the computer part, so I did. A flower brand emailed first, and they wanted her bad, but the message asked her to please keep the language family friendly. I read it to her out loud. Family friendly, she said. I've been cussing since before their grandparents were born. Then she held out
Since before their grandparents were born. How old is she? She got to be at least 150.
her hand. Give me that phone. She typed her reply with 2 fingers and hit send. You can kiss my butt. I don't tone down for nobody. Then she filmed the
Grandma's
next
low-key tough, bruh. Grandma's low-key tough. The grandma's tough, the dad is tough, but the orange-haired dude, he's not tough.
video, dropped a whole pierogi on the floor, and said something I can't repeat. It hit 2 million by morning. The worse her mouth got, the bigger she got. 6 weeks in, the flower brand came back, and this time the contract was $10,000 for 3 videos. I read every line out loud at her kitchen table. The last one said she had to maintain her authentic voice, including her natural language. I looked up at her. They're paying you to curse now. She didn't even blink. Took them long enough. So she signed it, looked dead into the camera for her first paid video, held up a bag of their flour, and said, "This is the only brand with the balls to let me talk like this." It's pinned to the top of her page. She still calls me at 6 in the morning, but now it's to ask if she's allowed to say the really bad ones
You know, if my grandma didn't pass away when I was really young, I wonder if mine would have been like this.
on camera yet. I haven't told her no once.
I like the grandma. I like the grandma. But still, only 3 smiles. I'm telling you, his story, you can't make me smile or laugh 5 times. You know why? Because my stories are better. Like, what is this even about? My friend challenged a snake.
I was playing with my pet snake when my friend leaned.
This dude's a psychopath. I'm trying to tell you guys, this dude, he has a pet snake. What more evidence do we need?
I was playing with my pet snake when my friend leaned over and stared at it with narrow eyes. Is it true that anacondas can choke people out? I told him yes, and he instantly leaned back in his chair and put his arms over his head. I don't think it could choke me out.
His friends are psychopaths too. Of course they are.
I laughed, but Wesley immediately sat up. I'm serious. Let your anaconda try choke me. If it succeeds, I'll give you $200. If not, you give me the $200. Deal? I thought about whether I wanted to risk my friend's life for $200. Then I shook his hand. Deal. I carefully placed Piper around his neck. Wesley smirked. You have to be pretty weak for something with no arms to choke you out, and I've been hitting the gym. This anaconda won't do a thing to me. Piper settled around his trachea, and I told Wesley, tap out.
This is just natural selection at this point. Imagine you're the doctor and someone comes into the hospital and they're like, "Oh my gosh, please help, my friend stopped breathing." So you ask why their friend stopped breathing, and they tell you it's because they purposely choked themselves out with an anaconda. If I'm the doctor, I ain't even helping.
Once it gets too much, but he waved his hand dismissively. What kind of loser needs a safe word for this? I'm ready whenever. Bring it on. I looked at him one more time, then gave Piper the signal. She started barely squeezing Wesley's neck, but his
I gave Piper the signal? Does that mean he has a signal to make Piper choke people? We gotta lock him up for that. Lock him up.
eyes instantly went wide. That's a lot, but I think I can hold it, he said, trying to look confident. I told him Piper wasn't even trying, and suddenly she squeezed harder. Wesley instantly gasped and tried to pull her off because his face had started turning purple. I asked, "Do you want to tap?" But he shook his head, wheezing no, and pulling harder.
If you want $200, just go work 2 shifts at McDonald's. You don't have to die for it.
Got this. Piper's muscles weren't even tensed, yet Wesley was now shaking in his chair, his veins popping as he pulled hard as he could. His face was blue, and Piper just kept squeezing. I was about to call her off anyway, when Wesley began tapping out. "Get her off me," he wheezed. I snapped my fingers, and Piper instantly released, returning back to me. Wesley collapsed off the chair, holding his throat on the floor and gasping for
I told you, natural selection.
air. He didn't have the air in his lungs to protest as I took my $200.
So he saw his friend not breathing on the floor and he was like, "Oh, now is the perfect time to take $200 out of his wallet." I would have done the same thing. I can't even lie. Come on. These stories are getting pretty interesting, but not enough to make me laugh. And this next one is called "A Stranger Thought I Was Her Husband." Why does stuff like this happen to me?
A woman in the grocery store smiled at me. "Babe, who's watching the kids?" I looked behind me, but no.
Now he has kids? How fast is this man aging? We saw him when he was 3 foot tall, getting in trouble in school, 16 years old getting in car crashes, 18 years old flipping tables at home, and now he's got a family. Is the next video him just gonna be passing away of old age?
Nobody was there. "What kids?" She laughed. "Very funny. Are they with your mom?" I took a step back. "Ma'am, I have never seen you before in my life." Her smile fell. "Okay, the joke's getting old." She reached into my cart and started looking through my groceries. "We have peanut butter at home." I looked around desperately for help, but an older woman nearby just smiled at us like we were the cutest couple she had.
Okay, this one is interesting, actually. Hold up.
Ever seen. Sorry, I think you have me confused with someone else. I tried to push my cart away, but the woman kept following me. Her cart clipped my heel in the frozen food aisle. Ignoring me isn't funny. We talked about this in therapy. A man nearby overheard and shook his head like I was the worst
I'm guessing she's schizophrenic. Or has Alzheimer's.
husband he'd ever seen, so I just stayed quiet. The crazy lady started loading frozen pizzas into my cart, and by the time I reached the checkout, all of her groceries were in my cart, and she was standing next to me with her arms crossed. Well, I paid $400 for groceries for a family I didn't have because I didn't want to make a scene.
You're a better man than me. I wouldn't even pay 13 cents for her groceries.
Shoved the bags into her cart and sprinted to the parking lot, fumbling for my keys.
Why is she running after him? No, I saw. Oh, why'd I do that? I didn't mean to smile, bro. How was I not supposed to smile? Look at this.
Into her cart and sprinted to the parking lot, fumbling for my keys. She hurried behind me, talking about picking up the kids from school.
Okay, that's 4 laughs. One more laugh for Smile, and I have to call his story and apologize.
To the parking lot, fumbling for my keys. She hurried behind me, talking about picking up the kids from school, and didn't stop until she saw my car. Wait, where's your truck? I tried to tell you, I'm not your husband. Her hands were shaking as she pulled out her phone and showed me a photo of a man who looked exactly like me.
Wait, that actually is crazy.
This is my husband. Who are you? She called her husband on speakerphone, and we realized we had the same birthday. We need to go talk to my mom. His wife gave me the address, and I met him there. I felt sick to my stomach when we knocked on her door, and when she opened it, she started to cry. You had severe asthma, and as a single mom, the medical bills were destroying me. My twin's mouth fell open. So you kept the healthy baby and gave the other one away. She reached for his arm. I did what I had to do. He pulled back. You hid him from me. He turned his back on
She just gave the baby away?
on her and walked to the car, and I followed. She called after us from the doorway, and my twin turned around one last time. He's my family now. Don't contact me again.
So I don't like the kid with the orange hair. I don't like the mom, but I do like the dad and grandma. I'm telling you, this whole family is crazy. Unfortunately, that was a very interesting story. But we haven't laughed 5 times yet, so I still have hope. This next one is called My Son Got Robbed of Gold. Please tell me it's the kid with orange hair getting robbed. That would make my day.
My son stepped into the ring of the Olympics boxing final, and his opponent was the home.
Okay, never mind. The dude with curly orange hair has a son now. Now he actually has a son. All right.
My son stepped into the ring of the Olympics boxing final, and his opponent was the hometown kid, who many said had cheated his way into the final.
Go blue team!
The bell rang, and my son instantly started landing hits and ducking everything his opponent threw. It wasn't even close. My son came back into the corner smiling while his opponent wobbled. He said, "I'm so much better than this guy, Dad," but I gently smacked
You can't take that, blue team. Come on, you can't take that. You gotta beat him. Wait, why is he so much more tan now? Bro got a spray tan, okay.
him and told him to never underestimate his opponent.
He did this man just go on a beach vacation or something? Look at him.
I reminded him of our training and how his biggest dream in life was a few rounds away. He nodded and went out, and for the rest of the match, he dominated. The crowd booed him non-stop, but my son still landed repeated left hooks and dodged every counter. He backed
This kid on the blue team is trash, bro. Come on. At least land one punch.
his opponent into the corner and wailed on him for a full round. He was barely sweating while his opponent bled and couldn't stand without wobbling. In the third round, he knocked him down, but the referee counted way slower than he was meant to, giving the hometown opponent enough time to get up. When the final bell rang, my son looked untouched, without a single mark on his face, while his opponent looked like he got stampeded by bisons. I hugged my son as the judges were about to announce the winner and yelled, "You did it, son," because the result was so clear. But then the judge raised the opponent's hand. The crowd instantly
Take that! Take that, red team!
started cheering for him, and my jaw dropped. My son was unharmed, while his opponent couldn't even see because his eyes were so swollen. I immediately lost it and tried to grab the scorecards, but the results
Don't be a sore loser now, buddy. Don't be a sore loser. You lost fair and square.
were official. My son stood on the podium with a silver medal without a scratch, while his opponent stood above him with a gold medal and a broken nose and a jaw wired shut. My son was cheated out of gold, and I learned that sometimes the opponent is a rigged system you can never beat.
Nope. You lost fair and square, bro. Get over it. Finally, he loses. Maybe he didn't lose, but his son lost in one of the videos. I'll take that as a W. These stories are getting more interesting as I watch, though, because I did not expect his son to lose. I didn't laugh, though, so we still have 4 out of 5 laughs. The next one's called Why Does He Hate Me? Maybe this is about me.
It was my first day in prison.
Oh, he got put in prison. Let's go.
It was my first day in prison when a 300-pound inmate took one look at me and started sobbing. I was walking down the cell block to
That's never a good thing.
find my bunk when he started charging at me like he wanted to kill me. I froze because I had no idea what was going on. Guards tackled him and pinned him to the ground. He was
I could feel that one. I could feel that one just watching. I'm sorry, bro.
screaming in anger while tears ran down his face. Before I could process what happened, an inmate grabbed my arm. That's Big Vaughn. Don't mess with him. He's put 3 guys in the infirmary. I didn't do
What is an infirmary? I thought infirmary was where babies are born.
anything though. He charged at me. I've never even seen him before. He shook his head. He's probably targeting you. You need
Please tell me Big Vaughn is gonna destroy him. Please. I need this.
to watch your back. I had never seen this man before in my life. Why does he want to kill me? The next day, I walked into the cafeteria. Vaughn was sitting at a table laughing with other inmates. Then he turned his head and saw me. His
Get him, Big
smile
Vaughn.
dropped. His eyes
Get him, Big Vaughn.
started watering with tears, like he was extremely upset to see me. And before I could react, he picked up his food tray and threw it directly towards my face. I ducked. Guards rushed in and dragged him out. He was crying and screaming
How did you miss Big Vaughn? He was right there.
the whole way out again. Why was this 300-pound man crying? An inmate next to me said, "What did you do to him?" I swear I've never seen him before. That's weird. He's cool with everybody else. I was scared because I didn't know how far he would take his hatred towards
Okay, what are our guesses why he doesn't like the dude with orange hair? Honestly, I think Big Vaughn is just like me. He just doesn't like this dude.
me. And later that night, when the cell block was quiet, I was walking back from the bathroom when I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around. Vaughn was right behind me. I looked down and
He can shoot lasers out of his eyes too. Come on, Big Vaughn.
saw that he had a sharpened piece of metal in his hand, and I knew he was ready to attack me. I backed into the wall. He pinned me. The blade was inches from my face. He was crying again. I put my hands up. I don't want any problems. Why do you hate me so much? I never did anything to you. He inched it closer. It's because you look just like him. Like who? What are you talking about? His hand was shaking, and suddenly, his arm dropped. He slumped against the wall, sobbing. You look like the man who killed my daughter. I almost killed him for what he did, and they arrested me, not him. He got away with it because he lied to the court and said I was the one to kill my own daughter. His voice cracked. I just miss my daughter. Before I could say anything, guards burst through the door. They saw Vaughn holding the contraband piece of metal, handcuffed him, and dragged him to solitary. No one's seen him since.
That's sad. I really don't want to admit this, but that was also a very good story. That one actually made me feel a little emotional. Maybe his story is just growing on me a little bit. A little bit. And also, I still haven't laughed 5 times, so I don't have to apologize to him. This one is called My Uncle Lost the Race.
I looked up at my garage ceiling and my face twisted in horror. A wasp nest the size of a basketball was hanging, and I could tell from the
Now, I'm no NBA superstar, but that don't look like a basketball. Looks more like a football, if you ask me. Or like a newborn baby swaddled in a blanket or whatever they call it. Let's just keep watching the video.
giant stingers and massive size that these wasps were murder hornets. I froze in fear, and that's
Wait, hold up. Is that actually a thing? Murder hornets? It is a real thing. Oh my gosh. Well, now I have a new fear unlocked. Thanks a lot, his story. They're like as big as your hand. That's terrifying. Oh my gosh. Another reason why I'm never going outside.
when I saw my little sister throwing her ball in the backyard. She was deathly allergic to bee
That looks nothing like his other sister. I'm telling you, his family is all wacky.
stings, and these wasps had 10 times more venom. I nervously backed into the house where my uncle was lazily drinking beer. I begged him to help me take the wasp nest down, and he groaned and chugged the rest of his beer. Come on, kid. He stood up and stumbled towards the garage. I followed him, my legs shaking in fear. When we walked in, my uncle smirked at the huge nest. I've seen bigger
His uncle kind of has aura too. Everyone's got aura in the family but him.
before. He reached his hand up to yank it down, but that's when a murder hornet flew straight at his face, buzzing loudly. He stumbled back, swatting at it, and my heart pounded.
I'm gonna guess what happens. The uncle dies and orange hair kid doesn't because he never gets hurt. The orange hair kid has plot armor.
He stumbled back, swatting at it, and my heart pounded because if one of those things stung anyone, especially my sister, they would kill her. And when I looked into the backyard, I noticed she wasn't there anymore.
Oh, the sister's gonna get stung. Wait, why am I acting interested? I can't act interested. I have to act like this story is boring.
Eyes widened, and I quickly grabbed my dad's winter coat and told my uncle, use this to protect yourself. But he slurred. It's a wasp kid, not a
He slurred?
bear. I smelled the beer on his breath, and when he grabbed a broom and stumbled towards the nest, I backed away trembling.
We've all got an uncle like this, let's be real.
Because I realized he wasn't scared of these things at all. The hornets curled their massive stingers, and it felt like they were looking right at us. My uncle raised the broom over his head and smirked with a cocky grin. Watch how it's done, kid. But right as he went to swing,
tough.
I heard a voice behind me. What you doing? I whipped around and became even more.
Wait, why does his sister look like the doll from Squid Game Red Light, Green Light?
But right as he went to swing, I heard a voice behind me.
Am I tweaking, or does that look like the girl from Red Light, Green Light in Squid Game?
What you doing? I whipped around and became even more terrified. My sister was in the garage. I said, please go back outside, but she just pointed at the buzzing hornet nest. Wow, what is that cool thing? She started walking towards the nest
she
that
don't
could
find
kill
out.
her. I panicked and my hands shook, and then my uncle's voice came through. That cool thing is about to be dealt with. He suddenly swung the broom through the air and smacked the nest
Why would you
hard.
do that?
It broke and fell toward the floor. All the hornets
Natural selection, once again.
buzzing aggressively while he crossed his arms and just grinned. My knees buckled as I realized what's about to happen, so I scooped my sister off her feet and began sprinting out. The nest hit the concrete, and behind me, a wild, roaring buzz erupted, louder than anything I've ever heard.
I told you the uncle's gonna pass away.
The hornets started flying in our direction, and my sister screamed in fear. One sting could kill her. That's when something flew past us. My uncle
The uncle, I almost laughed right there, so I had to keep a very straight face. But I love how the uncle just bolted past everyone. He's like, hey, my bad for that happening, but y'all are on your own now.
was hauling ass even faster than we were, pale in the face and terrified, not even caring my sister's life was in danger.
I didn't laugh. I didn't laugh or smile. But Uncle, that was a good one. This one is called I Couldn't Afford a Football. Bro is broke.
I handed my son a ball of garbage on his 9th birthday. I couldn't afford a football, but I spent all night making this for you.
Bro is broke.
He started dribbling it around our poor African village. I love it.
Yo, why is his son low-key good?
But I spent all night making this for you. He started dribbling it around our poor African village.
Okay,
I love it,
son.
Baba. One day I'll be a famous footballer in the World Cup, and I'm going to be so rich I'll buy you whatever you want.
No chance, bro. Not happening.
I didn't know what to say because I didn't think that could ever come true. But a week later,
That's low-key the goal with my son, though. I hope he becomes a famous, rich athlete and then can take care of me and I can not have a job.
volunteer from a charity truck dropped off food and clothes, and he stopped to watch my son juggle that garbage ball 50 times without a drop.
Hey.
Where did he learn that? He asked. I told him he taught himself, and he laughed and yelled, if he keeps that up, I'll see him at the World Cup. My boy's whole face lit up with a smile. It's meant to be, Baba. I'm meant to be a football star. The volunteer climbed into the supply truck and came back out with real football shoes.
Oh, he's got the Adidas. All right. All right. This is kind of the dream, you know?
And a real football. For the next 2 years, he'd kick the football while every kid in the neighborhood watched and cheered. But everything changed when a football academy was running trials in the city. I sold our goat for 2 bus tickets.
Did he just hold the goat by its neck? Whatever. That's the least weird thing I've seen today.
There. My son lined up beside boys in clean kits, the garbage ball still in his bag, and I was sure they'd send him home. But they kept him. And
Dang, he had no faith in his son? That's crazy.
for 5 years, all I heard from him were postcards, until one night my phone lit up in the dark and he could barely speak. Baba, I made the national team, and we're going to the World Cup. And 3 weeks later, I sat in a stadium of 80,000 strangers with the cracked badge of our village on my chest. The teams walked out under the lights, and I found my son in the line, the flag on his chest. Before the whistle, he jogged to the sideline and pulled a ball of garbage out of his kit bag. He dropped it onto his foot and juggled it, once, twice, in front of the whole world. The boy who
What is the team that he's playing for?
promised to buy me
Bro's playing for Manchester United. You chose the wrong team, bro. Should have played for Arsenal. Should have chose Arsenal.
whatever I wanted, pressed that ball of garbage to his chest, pointed it up at me, and I came apart in a stadium full of strangers.
I did enjoy that story. I did enjoy it. His storytelling is not bad. It's not bad. Because I do want that to be the case with my son. But I still haven't laughed. Next video is called Chester Ran That School.
I knocked out the smallest, weakest kid in school while I was
So you're a bully. Okay, cool. You're a bully. That's awesome.
bench pressing. He cracked my ribs with a 5-pound dumbbell and smiled.
Okay, maybe he's the bully.
That was Chester. He was 4'11", 85 pounds, and was the worst bully
4'11", 85 pounds? Wait, I feel like this might be Louis A. Is that not how tall and how much Louis A weighs? To be honest, I have no idea how tall Louis A is actually. And to be really honest, I don't even think he has legs. Have you ever seen his legs on video? I haven't. Okay, now I feel bad. Louis A, I apologize for calling you 4'11". I'm sure you're very tall. Yeah, okay.
I ever met. His 2 brothers were 6'6", 300 pounds of pure muscle. Nobody touched Chester because they were terrified of his big brothers.
Honestly, I don't like Chester. I do not like people like that. It's so annoying when people, they think they could bully someone because they just have their big brothers or someone to hide behind. Because my big brothers never helped me out. So I couldn't be a bully, unfortunately.
I told the teacher, but he never believed that Chester had the strength to actually hurt anyone. I walked around with 2 cracked ribs for 3 months and couldn't laugh without wincing. A week later, my history teacher stepped out. Chester whispered into my ear, "Have you ever felt a tiger's claw?" Then he stabbed a pencil an inch deep into my back. I
Chester's evil. Chester's evil.
bled out onto the floor and everyone gasped. I needed 7 stitches. My teacher asked the class if anyone saw it. Every single student looked away. Chester smiled again. He was loving this power.
Why is he smiling? No, I laughed. No. No, that was 5. That was 5 laughs. No. Why did I do that? It's your fault, Chester. I lost. Now I have to call him. Now I have to call his story. No. Fine, whatever. I'll call him. Let's watch the rest of this last video, and then I'll call him right after.
Baseball. Chester slammed a metal bat across my knee. I limped for a month. I still feel it when it rains. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anyone. I knew I had to handle this myself. So I started kickboxing. 5 days a week for 6 months straight. I sparred with semi-pros. Got beaten up badly at first. Then slowly started landing shots and earned their respect. I stored every one of Chester's hits in the back of my mind. I had a college scholarship and couldn't afford to risk losing it. So I waited for the last day of school. I walked up to him and said, "Hey Chester, have you ever felt
Oh, he's about to beat up Chester.
a tiger's claw?" He looked confused. Before he could say a word, I threw everything, punches, kicks, elbows, and laid him out on the concrete, unconscious, bleeding out of his smug face. A crowd
Unconscious? Hey, I know he was bullying you, but that unconscious is crazy.
gathered and went completely silent. Then his 2 brothers pushed through the crowd and got in my face. "Try that shit on us. Go ahead, try it." I looked up at both of them and said, "You might kill me, but I'll take one of you with me to the grave. I swear it." They went quiet, glanced at each other, then walked away. For as big as they were, they had never actually been tested. Chester had 17
Oh, see, they don't want the smoke. They're all bark, no bite.
broken bones and ate through a straw for
Is Chester alive?
4 months. No charges were pressed because even his own parents knew he had it coming. When I think about that day, I still get the warm and fuzzies. I knocked out the
Okay, you know what? I gotta give this dude respect. He was getting bullied, so he started training, got jacked, learned how to fight, and then beat up his bully. That's kind of tough. Orange hair kid, you're not that bad. I can't lie. But Chester, I despise you. Okay, so unfortunately, I did laugh or smile 5 times because even though I don't want to admit it, his story, you do make pretty good stories. You make very good stories. So I'm gonna call him right now and admit that to him. Okay, I'm about to call them. Here we go. I'm nervous, bro. I've never talked to them before. Oh, they joined.
Hey Tyler.
Hey, his story. First of all, nice to meet you, kinda. But I have something I want to apologize to you for.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, so I used to be a hater of your channel because I was jealous that people were saying you told better stories than I did. But I just watched a bunch of your videos and I do have to say, I apologize because you do actually tell some pretty awesome stories.
Oh, it's okay, Tyler. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Thank you. But I do have one final thing to ask.
Okay.
Okay. Who is cooler, me or Chester?
That's easy. Obviously, Chester.
All right, bro, we're ending. I take my apology back too, by the way.